What is up, Woodward Bits? Live here on a Wednesday. Beer and Scott in the house. Big show today, and literally, you're going to see why here momentarily, but lots to do here on the show today. We will recap all of the local action that we saw yesterday. Special guest joining us here in about 10 minutes, Mike Petta, a.k.a. Hoop, 2410 of Run Pure Sports, a good friend of the show, will be joining us to talk some NBA and some golf here. Scott, a lot going on, my man. So welcome into everybody. And how are you, buddy?
Man, it's a great day. Excited for the show today. And hey, we had a great night last night. I had, I'm a Michigan fan. I said I was being a homer. I end up taking Michigan. You had a beautiful call on the Red Wings, which came through as the whiteboard shows. Everybody loves us some Raymond. Helped us out a little bit with some OT goal. And good night last night overall. So had some fun. It was a great night to have 3 TVs beer with all the action going on. So I was kind of spoiled last night, sat around, and had a fun time.
Yeah, we'll get into all that here in a minute. We have bigger issues. We have more pressing issues to get to. Surprisingly, you would think Red Wings win, Pistons being competitive, big Michigan win. You think those would be the headliners of today's show, but no. You are wrong. Spencer, let's go to the video here. We got some exclusive video here that we need to start this show with. Here we go.
The day we get to celebrate these donuts that no one likes. Trash. Here's the about punch.
So these guys not liking the Punchkis, just going to town on them here. Like, okay, doing their heavyweight thing.
The Polish community. We apologize to the Polish community. No offense here, but we're having some fun.
Spencer, love them shoes. Easy, love the kicks, both of them. All right, here we go. We got a little sports worked in here. He's shaking them off. Here he goes. Gets a pitch he likes. Little toss. Bam. Spencer goes yard, baby.
Spencer
all right,
looks
Easy
like he
steps up to the plate. Now here, a lefty. The crafty,
wait a minute. Look at that
toss. Oh.
Now wait,
Easy.
we got to look at the back grip. We got to look at the bat grip by Easy on that one. I mean, look at the bat grip. I mean,
Spencer, can we go back a little bit somehow? And what?
He's literally got like 4 inches in between his hands. Look at that. Beer.
Wow.
You're a softball coach, Beer. What you got to break that down. I mean, what are we looking at?
I'm seeing lots of things wrong here. And yes, I coach youth girls softball. We'll say they are young women at growing up fast, but wow. I mean, there's a lot to Spencer. Can we get that one more time, please? There is a lot going on here. So, it's a nice, easy. The first thing you notice, Scott, the hands. I mean, the next thing I notice, watch the back leg swinging all the way around here. Whoa. Like, a whole body swing here by Easy. Now, we love Easy, and we know he can handle us poking fun at him, but I mean, when you're not hitting the Punchki on just a lob, I mean, look at Spencer just destroying that thing. Exploded. Easy, my man. We got to hit the batting cages with Easy, Scott. I know there's a batting cage over by you there. Maybe we got to get our man out here and get him some swings in.
I mean, hey, it's always fun to poke some fun at our boys, the heavyweights there. But when I saw that, I mean, I just couldn't let it slide. I mean, we had to give him a little bit of shit. Yes, we love Easy. We're not we know he takes that in stride, but
nothing but
man,
love.
Oh man there, buddy. I mean, woo-wee, that was that was something good there. I had to poke. We had to poke some fun at that one.
Well, I mean, Scott, have you ever played slow pitch softball, like adult league, beer league?
Yeah.
Like you swing and miss. Them boys are going to be on you. So this is no different.
Absolutely.
Or if you strike out, you might as well go home. Just leave the entire arena.
You buy beer at the bar.
Right. You are done. So
you buy beer.
Spencer, Easy at minimum owes you some beer. Maybe owes us as well, since we're bringing it up here and putting it on the air as well. But that's the kind of content that you'll get with the Woodward Heavyweights. So make sure you are checking them out. Great stuff. That video is going to live for a long time. So we'll hang on to that one. Maybe instead of the stinky guy, Scott, when we have a night where the picks don't go so well, big swing and a miss, we pull in the Easy video. So Spencer, save that one.
Into baseball.
Yeah, we'll hang on to that. Yeah, one more. I can't get enough of this. I mean, this is.
I think Spencer's just Clayton Kershaw here. I mean, look at that. he gave him the curveball. He thought he was getting the fastball. He gave him the curveball, Ricky. I mean, you got him there. I mean, that's just
give him the heater.
Yeah, he's got some, Baumgartner or Kershaw in that lefty arm of his.
Maybe Easy's just more. Maybe he needed a fastball. Some people struggle with the slower pitches. We've seen that in MLB, Scott. I'm trying now to help my boy Easy out, but how many times does the second baseman come in and pitch and he's throwing 45 miles an hour because the game's 19-0, and these professional hitters have no idea how to hit that thing. So maybe that's the theory is. I mean, who doesn't love some Ricky Vaughn? That movie, by the way, filmed in my hometown of Milwaukee, the old County Stadium. So great times there with Major League. Now they should have stopped at one, Scott. Major League didn't need a second part, but definitely a classic. But good stuff there. Again, by the Woodward heavyweights. Scott, before Mike joins us, let's get these recaps in here on these games. Let's start with Michigan. I'm going to give you your due. Well done. I thought Michigan State would keep this game competitive. Congratulations to all the Michigan fans out there. A massive win. Hunter Dickinson was a man amongst boys, Scott. I mean, 33 points last night. I believe he had 9 boards, just unstoppable. Huge win by your Wolverines last night.
Yeah, it was a good win. I mean, they were more desperate. You could see it in the way the play was was going on in that game. Michigan was desperate. They were in front of a home crowd, and Hunter Dickinson had that look in his eye. He was not going to be denied last night. And Michigan State just didn't have an answer for him. But yeah, good win for them. They just need to get one more beer, and I think they'll stamp their ticket. These next two with Iowa and Ohio State coming in. But speaking of Ohio State, gotta laugh at them losing as a 15-point favorite to Nebraska yesterday too. I got a chuckle out of that.
Which we both like the Cornhuskers, I'm pretty sure. Not just out of our hatred of Ohio State, which any non-Ohio State fan can share that. It's not only here in Michigan. I'm a Wisconsin fan. Nobody likes Ohio State except their fans. So love to see that. Let's talk some Red Wings here. Not going to do the victory lap. They did get the win. Let's play that goal, Spencer. Lucas Raymond on the whiteboard. Overtime, 4-3 winner here for the Red Wings. Bam, there it is. So that's a great win. Carolina was, I believe, 38-15 coming into this game. So they battled. It was close the whole game. To go to overtime to secure that win, Scott. A great sign here for the young Red Wings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that goalie there had been playing pretty well. We had mentioned how he's only given up 2 goals in a couple games there. So good for the Red Wings to get 4 goals. As you see, they actually outshot him too, 39-30. So good sign for those young Wings. Good to see both those young rookies, the first 2 to celebrate after that game-winning goal yesterday. Plus right, 170 too. Great call, Beer.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the plus one, the beer gut is what I call it. Sometimes you just get a feeling on something and you roll with it. So that was the case last night. The Pistons come up a little short, but they were competitive in that game. They did cover the spread if you took them with that 3.5, 116, 113. Scott, some of the numbers that we liked definitely went off. Kyle Kuzma's overs were there. Cade Cunningham was a guy we mentioned. His overs were there in the points, rebounds, and assists. Anything stand out here? Close game. Jeremy Grant leading the way with 26 for Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really keeps standing out for me is the Pistons are just playing pesky. This is a team, when they seem to be given too many or getting too many points, they just seem to cover. They may not win the games, but as far as against the spread here, I'm gaining a little bit of confidence. It just doesn't seem like, they're throwing in the towel or giving up. They seem to play, the full game, 48 minutes. So, yeah, I feel good about betting on the Pistons.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham, 29 and 5, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Saddiq Bey, 19 points. Not much off the bench here for Detroit. Kelly Olynyk, 10 points. So not a bad outing here. Washington, they faltered here without Bradley Beal, but still a solid performance there by the Pistons, just coming a little bit short. And got to shout out my boys. I was hesitant, pessimistic like I always am. Wisconsin, a big statement win over Purdue, Scott. Thoughts on the Wisconsin Badgers W last night?
Yeah, I mean, that helps them out for that number 1 seed for sure. I'm just kind of hoping they stay in that 1 seed. If Michigan stays in that 8-9 area, like I mentioned, they may cross paths in Wisconsin's first game in that quarterfinals in the Big Ten tournament, which, I mean, come on, let's all, I mean, everybody in the Big Ten kind of wants to see that matchup. So hopefully everything holds true, and we'll get our wish and get to see that game and get us a rematch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm ready for it. I mean, what fun would that? What fun it'd be if those two teams don't match up? That's the fun of sports. So, Juwan should be back then. I believe it's just the end of the regular season, and he's able to return. So, would set up a little bit of extra drama. So, who doesn't love that mixed in with their sports? So, before we get to our guest, our boy Mike, I want to let you guys know about one of the great sponsors here, and you've heard me talk about them many a times. Better Rate Mortgage, a Better Rate Mortgage family, more than blood. If you're looking for that new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, get treated better with Better Rate Mortgage. You can visit them online at mybetterrate.com or give them a call, 248-480-4467. Love having them here as a part of the Woodward Bets team. Again, mybetterrate.com. So, is Mike with us? There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Somehow, some way, Mike and I have worked at same companies going back probably a decade now, and this is the first time. So you're getting the first time ever. Hope, Beer, and Scott joining us. Unbelievable how that happens, but welcome in, my man. Run Pure Sports, obviously doing well. How are we on this fine Wednesday?
Doing well. Yeah, glad to be here with you guys. Trying to figure out this technical issue. The wrong camera is attached, but I think you guys can see me and hear me, so that's good. But yeah, everything's going well. I've tuned into the show quite a bit, and you guys are doing a great job here, so I'm excited to join in. And yeah, like you said, we live super close together, been in this industry together for so long, and the first time that we're collaborating. So like I said, excited to be here.
Well, welcome in. We got golf, we got NBA on the docket, but I got to start with cornhole. I know you and Scott partnered up this weekend, so how did that go? Scott was telling me he was a ringer. He was lighting it up, so I want the true story. How did the cornhole tournament go?
Well, the true story went as it typically does with Scott. He starts out hot. The first couple matches we played, the dude was lights out, could not miss. And then those Modelos start, the tally on the Modelos start creeping up higher and higher, and Scott's game starts to go down the tubes. So there's a direct correlation between Modelos and Scott's and Scott's cornhole production, and it's a very fine line. And eventually he got over that line, and we got our ass kicked. I didn't help out either. I mean, I was kind of in the same boat. Yeah, the drink started flowing. It's been a while since I've been in the cornhole pits. It all fell apart for us. But yeah, the first two games were very solid. 21-0, 21-0. Now the competition wasn't all that great. The competition started to get a little bit better as we went on. So it was not the best cornhole performance, but we had fun.
Scott, it sounds familiar. I mean, Scott and I have been playing cornhole a lot of years, and I suffer from the same disease. And beers start flowing, and the game starts going downhill fast. So, Scott, any words here about the cornhole?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I was actually, surprised. There was some pretty good competition in there. We were out in Novi at the 5. I think they call it was like Fifth Avenue at one point. But there was a couple cornhole professionals in there. Apparently, there was a lady in there who was, very well known in the cornhole industry. I think she won, something close to Player of the Year or something like that. So I was warming up against her, and then somebody told me who she was. I thought I was hanging in there at first, thinking, well, here's this lady here who's got this fancy cornhole shirt on. She must think she's pretty good, but I was hanging with her, trying to match points, see if I could score. You kind of mentally, even though you're warming up, you're still kind of playing against the other person. But and then once I kind of found out what was going on, she either decided to flip the switch to say no more for you, or I just got in my head and was trying too hard. But as you both know, when you're playing cornhole and you miss one or two and the other guy's just dropping them in the hole, that third and fourth bag gets real heavy at some points. So you start thinking, man, I don't want to give up 9 points to these guys or 10 points. Like, I'll take my 5 and move on. But hey, it's always fun to get out, especially with either one of you two. I always have a blast being around you guys. So yeah, a lot of fun, good times.
So a little collaboration of all of us outside the camera is well overdue. So we'll set that up. But we only got Mike for a limited time. So Mike, let's start with some NBA here tonight. We're going to get some golf as well. But NBA, just going to run through some of the injuries that we know here tonight. The big names. Again, Damian Lillard going to miss for Portland. They're missing a ton of guys. Nurkic going to be out. as well here. No Justice Winslow, so that's certainly a team that we want to target. Anthony Simons, Josh Hart, some value on that team as well. Chris Paul and Devin Booker out for Phoenix, so that's another team going to have a lot of value available. Headlined by Cameron Payne. No Kyle Lowry once again for Miami, so Gabe Vincent starting again. Obviously, boost to guys like Butler, Adebayo, Tyler Hero. No Gordon Hayward. He remains out for Charlotte. Miles Turner still out for Indiana. Darius Garland, questionable for Cleveland. We'll see if he's able to give it a go. OKC, another team. They're missing about 7 people. Headlined by Josh Giddey. Questionable tag here for Kevin Porter Jr. and Karis LeVert out for Cleveland. So those are most of the big names here. So, Mike, I'm going to toss it to you here first. Let's talk some DFS. We'll get into some bets here for tonight in a minute. But Oklahoma City, to me, is a team we got to start with, headlined by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This guy's been incredible. Price tag's on the rise. But is he a guy you want to spend up on tonight? And who else are you looking at in the NBA?
Yeah, he's been playing phenomenally well. I mean, coming off what he had, like 37 actual points last time out. Yeah, 37, 36, and 32. And they just have I mean, it's already a shitty basketball team. And then you add on these injuries as well. And it's a really good spot for SGA. The price is coming up, but it is fully warranted with all these injuries. So I think he is a guy to definitely consider. Trey Mann is another guy that I've been playing, coming off a little bit of a stinker, but still played 31 minutes. If Denver does kind of, focus in on SGA a little bit, Trey Mann's the next guy up. He could have a massive game. The price is still pretty cheap on him. This Poku guy, 4.1K, he's going to have to play some minutes. Got 26 minutes last time, 34 fantasy points. He's a guy that we're definitely going to have to look at. Those are the 3 favorites. Another guy, this Vit Krejci, I believe is how you pronounce his name, 30 minutes last time. So you're going to have to play some OKC guys. The uncomfortable part is they're just a really bad team, and they're 15-point underdogs. But that's what happens in NBA DFS when you get a laundry list of guys out like we have here with the Thunder. So definitely a team that we will be looking to get some exposure to here tonight.
All right, let's talk Cameron Payne here. Again, we mentioned no Chris Paul, no Devin Booker. Ownership's going to be through the roof on this guy. So there's no steadfast answer on these things. Sometimes you want to jam the guy in. Sometimes you want to fade. Cash games, it's an easy play. Tournaments, let's talk, say, Cameron Payne. Let's say he's going to be 70% owned. What are we doing here? And I know NBA a little bit different than NFL, MLB. They all have their different quirks, but how are you handling this Cameron Payne situation tonight?
Yeah, so I think it's a great point you bring up about ownership and in tournaments and whatnot, because NBA is unique in the fact that typically the good plays are the good plays, and you don't really need to actively go out and fade chalky or highly owned type guys. In the MLB, if a guy's 70% owned, you're going to fade them. In the NFL, you can make the argument too, but the NBA, it's very tough because, like I said, the good plays are the good plays, and Cameron Payne's in a phenomenal spot here. All these Suns guys are in phenomenal spots. They're at home. No Chris Paul, no Devin Booker. They're still favored by 11. They're still projected to score 118 actual points tonight. So it's tough to pass up on these guys. Now, if you were going to go ahead and fade Cameron Payne, who will be the highest owned guy in the slate, you're going to need to play other Suns. You're going to have to play Bridges. You're going to have to play Cam Johnson. You're going to have to look at Jay Crowder, Ayton. So don't just say, okay, I'm not playing Payne, I'm going to avoid the Suns. You need to play some Phoenix Suns guys tonight. Payne is the one that's in the best spot, best price tag, but that will come with the highest ownership. I won't be fading him. I think I want to play probably at least 3 Phoenix Suns guys in every lineup that I have tonight. After Payne, my next favorite would probably be Bridges. I mean, you're going to get a ton of minutes with Bridges. He already plays a ton of minutes when Chris Paul and Devin Booker are in the lineup, but now you take those guys out and the minutes will remain high, but the usage rate's going to come up, which is super important. So more shots, more ball handling responsibilities. Cam Johnson, Ayton, Crowder, all guys you can look at, Landry Shamet. This is a team that you definitely want to get some exposure to. Probably prefer, the Phoenix Suns guys to the OKC guys, but both teams are in phenomenal spots here tonight.
Yeah, Payne's usage rate jumps to almost 30% with those two guys out. So a very big number. And like you were saying, NBA is the most easily projected sport. And that's the reason why, baseball, Mike Trout, best hitter in the world, can go 0 for 4 any day of the week. Football, a little bit tougher to project than basketball. So that's the reason why the different chalk in the different sports can have different meanings and different ways to handle it. Scott, let's get over to you.
It's honestly, just real quick, that's the best way to honestly explain it to people too. Like in baseball, you can see it happen all the time where if Mike Trout's going against one of the worst pitchers in baseball, there's a somewhat decent chance where he still goes 0 for 4 or 1 for 5 or something like that. In the NBA, that doesn't happen. If Giannis or LeBron or any of these top players are going against one of the worst defenses in the NBA, they're going to go out there and get the job done like 90% of the time. So I think that's a really good point that you bring up there.
All right, Scott, OKC, Phoenix, obviously headlining the list. So where are you at on those two teams? Where do you come out on this Cameron Payne thing and other thoughts here in the NBA tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, some of the chalk in NBA, you just got to play. You got to look for other places to try to be different, maybe wait. We always are saying keep your ear to the ground. You got to pay attention all the way through, the whole slate, especially with you've got a few late games. But, you look for that little bit of news. Maybe you can jam in another star, maybe bump up a little higher with a cheaper type guy. But, you guys talk about the Phoenix Suns there. I think another guy tonight who might be pretty high owned is Trey Lyles as well. He's been playing pretty well since the Bagley trade. So I think that's another guy that'll be pretty chalky. That's fairly cheap that I'd be looking at to try to get up to, the Giannis's, the Jokers, and guys like that to fill up your lineups.
Yeah, and some of the other value on the slate, you mentioned Lyles, certainly a guy you can look for. Gabe Vincent, we mentioned, should play some big minutes against Milwaukee. Drew Eubanks with Portland, going to have to play some minutes at center with Nurkic out. So there's plenty of cheaper guys out there to fit some of the studs in the lineup tonight. So as far as high-end guys, let's hit on that real quick before we go to golf. Again, SGA for me is in play, but you can always make a case for the Joker, Embiid, Giannis. So, Scott, if you're spending on one guy tonight with all this value, who are you prioritizing?
I think that would be pretty tough. I do like the matchup that the Joker has against OKC. I think, he's just the guy I feel safer with. Giannis to me, sometimes a guy, if there's blowouts or anything else, seems like for me, it's just every time I see Giannis, I just think to myself, is he going to play in the fourth quarter? Is he going to get a full run? But Embiid's something special. I think center today, we got a lot of studs at center today. So I think that's where the decision is going to have to make. If you want to pay down, you might be able to get the SGA and maybe add a Giannis. But if you want to pay up, you're obviously using that spot, and it's going to be tough if you're going to have to make some decisions there.
All right, Hoop, primary spender for today. Who you got?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Jokic. And one thing I like to do in NBA DFS, like if I know I'm going to be heavy on the value from the opposing team, it's kind of the stud that I want to go with. It just correlates nice, especially in tournaments. In cash games, 50-50s, head-to-heads, you don't need to worry about that. But in tournaments, if I'm going to be playing a lot of these OKC guys, which I think is the case, I kind of want Jokic to be my highest owned stud, and he is 12-4, and it's tough on DraftKings to get him in. You have to make some sacrifices, but I like Jokic, I think, over those other guys in this top range, mainly for correlation reasons.
All right, we're going to go to golf. Hoop, get your favorite bet ready here before you get out of here. We're going to want your favorite bet or two here in the NBA, but let's talk some golf. Here, I know you're very involved with golf. Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill this week down in Florida. So give us a sense of the course. It looks like a strong field of players here this week. So give the overall view on this, maybe some guys you're looking at. If there's any bets you like, just lay this out for us here.
Yeah, so it's a tough course here. All indications are that the rough is going to be growing out quite a bit. Driving distance is important. Approach shot important. I mean, both those categories pretty important each and every week. But this event specifically, because it is a long course, par 72. So I'm kind of looking at some of these guys that hit the ball a little bit further and then good with their long irons, because there's a lot of approach shots that will come in 175. 200 yards. All the par threes are pretty long as well. But really, I'm just looking for guys that hit the ball long, off the tee, good with their irons, and just overall good players. And it starts at the top with Jon Rahm and Rory McIlroy. I mean, they're the two most expensive guys on DraftKings for DFS. They're the two betting favorites in the betting markets. Their game's just set up perfectly well here. I mean, to me, Jon Rahm is the best golfer in the world. And then Rory has all this course history here. He's been phenomenal. I think the last 4 times he's been here, all inside the top 10. He had the top 10 last season. Game kind of rounding into form a little bit. So, those are two guys at the top tier that I'm kind of looking at. Some cheaper guys and some longer shots for betting. I really like Jason Kokrak. He's 8,400 on DraftKings. He's like 50 to 1 in the betting markets. A guy that's playing pretty well. He's shown us over the course of the last year and a half he can win events. I think he has 3 wins over the last season and a half, which is solid. I mean, there's some good golfers right now, so the fact that he was able to grind out 3 wins is pretty big time. So I like Kokrak in the middle for DFS and sports betting, and like I said, about 50 to 1. Another guy that I like a little further down, like 65, 71 is 71 is Maverick McNeely, 7.8K on DraftKings. He's just been very solid this season. All his finishes, the last 5 events have been inside the top 35. He had a T7 at the Genesis. So he's a guy that I'm looking at for both betting and DraftKings. I'll give you a long shot here. Where's my dude? Sahith Theegala. He's 7K on DraftKings, about 130 to 1 to win. What event was it? He finished T3rd at the Waste Management. Kind of fell apart at them, but there's some big names chasing him. I think this guy's good, well-rounded game. I think he gets a win at some point. Could be this week. Like I said, 7K on DraftKings, 130 to 1 in the betting market. So those are just a few of the guys that I'll be looking at this week.
Scott, any thoughts on golf? And then I know you got a question for Mike.
Yeah. I mean, Hoop, I mean, we know you play a lot of golf. I mean, you've been, crushing golf here in the DFS circles. I mean, when you build your team, Hoop, do you like to, I know you play multiple lineups. Do you like to, do you concentrate on a core of guys? Do you like to spread it out? Like, what is your kind of thought process when you're looking at, how you're going to fill out your 150 teams? Do you like focus on 2 or 3 golfers and go around them? Or do you mix up like a core, like maybe 30, 40, 60, 70 guys? Because usually there's like 130 in a field, somewhere like that.
Yeah, it ranges. This week there's 122. Usually a full field event's 156. So it kind of varies event to event. But, for this week example, I'll have 150 teams. I'll probably have 18 to 20 core guys that I'll be, mixing and matching, have pretty high ownership on. And then I'll have a secondary group of guys that I'm just kind of sprinkling in maybe like 5 to 10%, and getting exposure to them that way. The player pool probably anywhere from 38 to 48 type players, and just kind of run the optimizer and get the percentages that I want. It's just very important in PGA DFS to just get over the field. And by getting over the field, I mean higher ownership than what the field's projected to do, what the other people in the contest are expected to do. There's, a lot of sites, we have it at Run Pure Sports, where you can see that the projected ownership is usually pretty accurate. So, it's just very important to get over the field, high exposure to the guys that you really like in a given week. But it kind of, differs week to week. Like last week, I played more guys because the event was just highly volatile. There's like water in play on 15 holes, 1 bad hole, your guy self ejects basically. So varies week to week, but PGA DFS is a lot of fun, and we're really growing our product over at Run Pure Sports as well. We have content for Showdown for round 2, 3, and 4, along with the main slate that goes rounds 1 through 4. So it's a fun DFS sport if you haven't tried it out.
Yeah, make sure you go and checking them out. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one other thing. Hoop, if you want to explain anything else you guys have going on at Run Pure Sports, I mean, you guys literally are covering almost like every sport: MMA, PGA. You guys got NASCAR. I mean, it's I obviously help you guys out. We help out with Run Pure with baseball, which hopefully they get their shit together, because I truly will miss my baseball. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to add? What's going on over there? Well, a lot of good stuff going on over there, and we appreciate you hopping on here with us today.
Yeah, the baseball stuff is unfortunate. Hopefully they do get their shit together and get a season going
Please.
because man, that would be just it's like it sounds like it's over peanuts too, like $50,000 minimum for the rookies or whatever. I mean, come on, like get the season going. Absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully the talks turn in the right direction. But in terms of what we offer at Run Pure Sports, we cover every single sport. We have a team, multiple people that cover each DFS sport from a betting perspective and a DFS perspective. If you're a member at Run Pure, you're able to get access to all our content on our website. We don't really charge more when a new sport starts. It's all sports under the same pricing umbrella. So it gives people the opportunity to get involved in sports that they really don't follow. Like prior to doing this, I'd never really followed MMA or NASCAR, but we have great guys covering NASCAR and MMA, and I've kind of gotten into it from a DFS and sports betting perspective. So we kind of cover all the sports that DraftKings offer from betting and a DFS standpoint. It's a lot of fun. And Scott, like you said, you help us with the MLB content, and hopefully we can get that going pretty soon here.
There you go. Make sure you're checking them out. Great friends of the show here at Run Pure Sports. So I know you got to get out of here. Favorite bets of the night here, Hoop, or whatever it may be. What are we looking at in the betting world here tonight? Our best bets is what we love to call them here.
Yeah, so we talked about that Phoenix Suns situation where we really like all their guys for DFS. I kind of like the other side for a bet. I kind of like the Portland Trailblazers to at least keep it close. I mean, you look at these two rosters, and yes, don't get me wrong, Portland's a disaster right now, and no Damian Lillard obviously, and they've lost other guys along the way. But I look at these two rosters, and it's not an 11-point difference for me. So I think Portland can do enough to keep this game close. So give me Portland, and then I know on the other side I'm going to be playing the Suns heavy in DFS, so you kind of get both sides of that game. You're rooting on a close, competitive, high-scoring game. So give me Portland plus. It looks like 11, so I'll take that.
There you go, 11.5 at BetMGM. So if you shop around, get the
Let's
best
go.
price. A lot
We'll
of
take the
11s
hook.
out
We'll
there,
take the
but
free
there
hook.
You go. Grab that hook when you can. Mike Petta, a.k.a. Hoop, 2410 Run Pure Sports. We appreciate you joining us, my man. Hopefully we can do it again here soon, and we'll get a little cornhole game going. There we go. The go. One of the best for sure. So appreciate the time, my man.
Hey, if we get the cornhole game, just make sure we just load up the Modelo's so we can take all Scott's money.
There we go. We'll start the betting after the Modelo's kick in. That's the way to do it. So, all right, Hoop, have a good one, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, Scott, always good having Mike on again. Can't believe when you said that today, it didn't even click. Like, how have we never done a show together over all of these years? So finally, good to get him on. And again, Run Pure Sports, lots of great stuff going over there. Mike, one of the best DFS players in the world, no doubt, in a lot of different sports. So love having his insight here joining us on the show. So best bets time for us now. He gave out Portland plus 11.5 here, Scott. So we got that one on the board. Let's get the people some winners to close out the show. What do you got?
Yeah, I got two at this point. The one that I'm looking at, I've been liking I like picking on Houston here. So Beer, I'm going to go with Utah in the over. I like the over in that Houston-Utah game. They just been giving up a ton of points, most in the NBA. So I'm just going to ride with that 229. I really like that one. And then Beer, I'm going to be looking at a little bit of basketball tonight in the Big Ten. Just kind of looking around here. I mean, the Big Ten here coming down to the end. I'm really liking this Indiana team here today at home against Rutgers. I think -5 is a little bit too light. Like I said, I've been concentrating on these home teams. So give me Indiana -5 against Rutgers.
Now, Scott, we've got to give the best bets in the cannabis industry as well. One of our other fine sponsors of the show here, Jars Cannabis. Why don't you let the people know what's going on over at Jars?
Absolutely. Always, one of our favorite sponsors here, along with Better Rate. But shopjarscannabis.com, they offer delivery and in-store shopping, Michigan's largest variety for any of the lifestyle needs. But we got all kinds of medical and recreational retail shops all throughout Michigan, Lansing, Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids, and more. And hey, if you mention Woodward Sports, you get 20% off your bill. Basically, you spend $100, you get a free $20, and $20 is about equal to maybe a little bag of some edibles, maybe a couple pre-rolls, just for listening to us. So make sure you guys get over there and check them out, and make sure you mention Woodward Sports. But glad to have them on, Beer. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. A great sponsor of the show, jarscannabis.com. One more time, if you need that new mortgage, guys, I can't stress it enough. At Better Rate Mortgage, family is more than blood, so come get treated like family. Actually, get treated better. You can visit them online at mybetterrate.com, or you can give them a call, 248-480-4467. Appreciate My Better Rate Mortgage for being one of the great sponsors here of the Woodward Bet Show. All right, I'm going to stick with the NBA here tonight, Scott. I'm going a couple underdogs here tonight. Some of these spreads seem a little bit too high. I know Philadelphia looks unstoppable right now with James Harden, but 10.5 here to the Knicks. And the Knicks have been somewhat of a disaster, but I like the Knicks in this one. I'm going to take the points with the Knicks. A ton of bets on Philadelphia, almost 80% of the bets coming in on the Sixers, which makes sense. Everyone's excited about that team. Scott, I want to fade the public here. Give me the Knicks plus 10.5. And I'm also going with the Sacramento Kings. Almost the same story here. New Orleans getting 81% of the bets right now, but 50% of the money looks like it's coming in on the Kings. I am with that money, fading the public there as well. Give me the Kings plus 6.5. So New York plus 10.5, Sacramento plus 6.5. Couple underdogs for me tonight in the NBA. Scott, great show here today. Spencer, can we get one more look at Easy? I don't want to put you. There we go. I knew he'd have it queued up. I mean, this may have to be the close of our. Oh man, and the anger. I was waiting for like was it Glenn Braggs? You remember that name, Scott? Just broke the bat right over his leg. Bo Jackson did that many a times. That would have made that video even better. So Easy, next time, I want to see that bat just smashed and shat. Since you didn't smash the Punchki, at least shatter that bat. Give us some kind of explosion there.
Yeah, that was I mean, that's always a good time, Beer, laughing at your buddies. We've had a few beers and gone to a batting cage here, when younger days, over there at that Sportway on Ford Road over there in the day.
Yes, sir.
We'd have some beers and run around that go-kart track. We'd be swinging and missing at that fast pitch baseball, just laughing at each other. And then you get that one that just spins a little bit too much on the side and comes running at you. And, those are always fun. But, great video there by those guys. They did a good job with that. And, hey, it's supposed to be nice this weekend, Beer, so maybe we'll get out. And you never know what could happen here. I'm still thinking I got to get out there and boot one of them 40-yard field goals one of these days there, buddy.
Oh, boy. Easy. This is your redemption right now. Scott, Charlie Browning a field goal is going to happen. So, hopefully we can look forward to that. But make sure you're checking them out. Highly entertaining. If you love the network, you haven't seen their show, heard their show yet, go and check it out. Woodward Heavyweight, some great entertainment there. I want to make sure that we plug their show along with all the other great content here at the Woodward Sports Network. Tons of stuff all throughout the day to keep you entertained. So we appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure if you're on YouTube watching, hit that thumbs up button. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Woodward Bets. And if you're listening on a podcast feed, go ahead and leave that 5-star review. So we appreciate you guys for joining us once again today. We'll be back tomorrow to recap everything we saw tonight in the sports world, give you some more bets for tomorrow, breaking down NBA, maybe some NHL tomorrow. I know Thursday always a big NHL night, so we'll see what's on the docket for tomorrow. But for Scott, for Spencer, we're Easy with the big swing and a miss. I am Beer. We are Woodward Bets. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck with your bets tonight. Enjoy the games, and we'll catch you tomorrow. We're out.